Good morning, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen who may be watching or may be watching later. There's not really a good way to start this, is it? Like, Survivor Series, Rant, predictions, speculations, flying space butterflies. Who knows? We're I'm too tired to do this shit. I'm too tired to do this shit, but I have to, don't I? Like, I'm just getting so pissed off about the card and leading up to it. Okay, let's start. Tournament. Seth Rollins getting injured was extremely unfortunate for the WWE, and yeah, and people have been talking about this for years. Like when Cena's taking a time off, what happens? Because they don't have anyone else really, do they? Like they don't have anyone else that's credible to carry the main event and be a big draw. Like they had Seth Rollins, they had John Cena. Randy Orton has been so stale for the past 5 years that you almost forget that he is there or not. The only thing he lives for now is to RKO people out of nowhere and perhaps punt them. That's all he has now. And Randy Orton's great he's a great in-ring storyteller and stuff, but he hasn't done any. He hasn't been interesting for years, and that's very unfortunate. So, who do we have? We have the tournaments to determine the new WWE champion, WWE champion, and who do we have in the tournament? Because the mid card is so thin that Kalisto had to be dragged in there for no reason, and you don't really want to see any one of these people win, do you? Like Kevin Owens, because he carries the albatross, the cursed title. He carries the Intercontinental Championship, which undoubtedly is going to ruin his career at some point, as it does to everyone. We have Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose. It's a testament to Dean Ambrose's skill as a performer that he still gets pops when he enters an arena, because the way they have been violating him and his gimmick for the last 2 years is I'm amazed. No, not 2 years, 1 year. Sorry. I'm amazed that he still even wrestles here. Condiment Man. Like they tried to do a Stone Cold Steve Austin thing, and they forgot how to do it, and it was really, really cheesy and weird. Okay. Who else do we have? Kevin Owens, then Dean Ambrose. Kevin Owens, great performer, currently carrying the Intercontinental Championship. And it's too early. I like it to when you're at least building you up from the mid card instead of giving you a championship right out the door. Sheamus. Dean Ambrose. Not going to happen. The best outcome of this tournament is Dean Ambrose winning. They're not going to do it. Okay, we have Del Rio. I like Del Rio. A lot of people don't. Some people have called him a black hole person. Not the case. Del Rio's great. Del Rio's a great performer. The only issue is he doesn't have anything now anymore, does he? Like he has a Maxi America stick. Which is the most contrived and forced thing. I have to be honest, I don't even bother watching the Dutch Mantel, Subculture promos with him and Alberto Del Rio for Mexican America, because continuity-wise and everything, this does not make sense. I'm just ignoring it. I'm just filtering it out. I have not watched Raw properly for weeks because I have things to do. Mental health. I have things to do with my time, like staying in school and watching actual good entertainment, Like Jessica Jones, I want to watch. I want to watch Jessica Jones, but I can I? Because I'm going to sleep in a few hours, and then I'm going to go and watch fucking Survivor Series, which is going to be a treat of extra dimensional proportions. Will it not? Del Rio, Alberto Del Rio would have been probably one of the great stars of this decade, in my opinion, if they had kept his gimmick intact, if they had protected it, if they had let him win the World Heavyweight Championship against Edge, for example, at WrestleMania, as the young up-and-coming star who has been proving that he can, get heat and get over with the crowd, and people don't give him X-Pac, but he actually dislike him, and he can cut the promo, and he has a great look to him, and he's such a good swarmy coming in there with his expensive car and his personal ring announcer, who you think he is, you Mexican aristocrat. But yeah, you see where I'm going, right? And then they took the car away from him. Then they dumbed down is the best term for it, really. I'm not sure why they could ruin the effect of his theme song. Then they took Ricardo away from him after a failed face run, because this guy's not supposed to be a face. He's not a face, okay? He's never going to be one. Some people are just designed to be heels, and that's nothing against them. It's not because they're bad performers. It's because they just have the look of a heel. The Miz is an example. The Miz was a face at one point, and he tried to beat up Brock Lesnar during Miz TV. Or what a fella! No one wants to like the Miz. Like, the Miz looks like such a douchebag. The Miz is the kind of guy you just want to. Looks like the kind of guy you just want to punch in the face with while you're covering your hand in metal. Like, you just have not even a brass knuckle. Just dip your hand in molten metal and just punch him. You want to sacrifice your arm for that. That's how punchable he is. I don't know if it's a bad guy or not. I'm just saying his look. This is a good thing. If you're a good thing for a heel, it's good to be punchable. That's how heel managers go over. They were dicks, and they were punchable. That's why people in the 70s and 80s attacked people, heels after a show, because they were so punchable and so dickish. They wanted to get their hands on those fucking cheaters. Maybe we should go back to that time. I don't know. Okay, so Alberto Del Rio, with his gimmick cut down, made into subculture's lackey, or not a lackey, equal. I don't know what the game is. I have combining Mexico and America. I don't know. I just stopped paying attention. I just filtered it out because I had better things to do with my time. And I like Alberto in the ring. I've seen his matches lately. They were not good. They've not been good matches for very relevant reasons. I don't think he just did it. I just think he's checked this for the money and is quite frankly bored with the concept. He just pays well, so he's just doing this because he's a smart man. All credit to him. I think when he gets his groove back, gets a little more of a groove back, he's going to kick ass in the ring. It's going to be great. Okay, and then we go to Roman Reigns. Sorry, I may come off as I'm stealing a lot from Noah and Filer, aka Spoonie, fanboy, but still, I'm not trying to steal lines from him. I'm not trying to steal his format, but still, you must love Roman Reigns. Love him, Roman Reigns. But Daniel Bryan, no Roman Reigns. But Daniel Bryan, no, you must love Roman Reigns. Superman punch, spear, the least personal finisher in the world, because everyone has it. Like, even Christian got it that period. And Roman Reigns, love him. Okay, for one thing, like, this tournament is so fucking predictable. That's one of the issues with it. There's no tension to it because it's like with the Royal Rumble after Daniel Bryan got eliminated. We all knew Reigns was going to win immediately. Therefore, there was no drama to that match. There was no tension. There was nothing to be, to wonder about, because the only thing was who's the next surprise entrant was the only drama left in that match. And that's not a drama, because you always know there's a surprise entrance. So it kind of goes against the definition of a surprise, I suppose. Roman Reigns just... What more do you say? Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns has improved a lot. I don't like his promos. I don't like the scripted promo thing in general. I don't think wrestling is designed for scripts. It's a very organic performance art, so having really scripted promos, it's kind of weird, because a lot of the greatness with promos comes from crowd interaction and being adaptable and throwing out one line. You can't. Sorry, let's go on. Roman Reigns in the ring, it's good. It's good. It's not great, but it's good in the ring. It's fun to watch. It's not that. He's not so fun to watch. Not that, but he's fun to watch. There's a difference there. And I think they have been ruining the Superman punch lately, which was his most over move, not spear. The only reason why spear is not over move is because people know that's supposed to be his finisher. And that's why they continue to have it. Like, Superman punch is the most over move he has, and when they've been ruining it like that, it kind of loses the effect. I like the Superman punch. It's more personalized. It's more like finishers should be personal. And that's why I don't like the spear. Spear's a cool move. It's simple, effective, and you can do it from a lot of very different angles. You can take someone and catch someone in midair. You can spear someone. You can jump from the top rope and spear someone. You can run from. You can do it as a corner finisher. Stand in the corner, wait for them to get up, and spear them. You can do it out of nowhere as they run towards you. From after an Irish whip and stuff. There's lots of variations of the spear. I like it. I like it that way. But the problem is that spear was Goldberg's finisher. Well, I did before. Sorry, I'm dodging about that part of history. I don't know that much about WCW. And finishers from maybe more less well-known wrestlers. And it shouldn't be. It could be a signature move. It shouldn't be anyone else's finisher after him, really. Like, Edge did a spear. And I didn't like that. I wanted him to have his own thing. He had his own moves, too. He had the... I can't mimic it, but he had finishes like when he grabbed people and did a face buster and stuff from a very interesting angle. Give people their own moves, or as close to it as you can for finishes. Like, the RKO, for example, while Rant is definitely not his original finisher on the mainstream scene, Diamond Page and Johnny Ace and stuff, Rant has perfected. He took the the jumping cutter and turned it into a masterpiece. He made that into art. That man is a wizard. He's just a wizard with that move, and that's really great. That's what I really love about. That's why I like the 5 moves to do, because the people complain about Sid's 5 moves to do. And to use I think it's a Bruce Lee quote. I'm more afraid of a man that's practiced 1 kicks 1,000 times than a man who's practiced 1,000 kicks 1 time. Okay, for each kick. And there's a reason where having few moves that you use regularly is not necessarily a bad thing, as long as you can tell an interesting story during the match and mix it up from time to time. Because when you have those moves, you can do them really fluently, and those are the moves you're great at, and that makes it very it makes it very enjoyable to watch, and you can be comfortable in doing variations with them. I like Randy Orton and the RKO. He's so good at that move because he does it so often. He can comfortably take people in midair, even as he's laying on the ground and they're doing a fucking shooting star press, shooting star KO. So Sammy Johnson and the 5 moves of doom, like he can pop them like it's second nature to him. It's really great at watching. Even if he's gassed and it's been going on for an hour, when he pops those moves, fluent and beautiful. Not to say that there are not merits to have a lot of moves, but you know, there's merit to not using that many either. Just saying. Uh, where else? Anyway, I'm getting on tangents. You know, Roman Reigns has few moves. I don't like that he has Spears his finisher. I thought it would be the Superman punch because Spears is supposed to be personal. But Roman Reigns is going to win this. Other, you know, people sometimes have Dean Ambrose is going to turn heel. And that's, is it sensible? I don't know. I don't know if it's sensible. They need a new top heel in the company. And the way they've been doing it with, I'm getting to Bray Wyatt later, but no, I don't think that would be interesting. And that's the problem. While I think Dean Ambrose is better as a face than Roman Reigns. I originally thought he was going to be the heel when the Shield split up. You know, before I saw how they split up. Before, you know, I just thought about the concept of the Shield splitting up. I either thought Dean Ambrose was going to end up as a jobber or be the heel after this. That's a thing. Roman Reigns could also be a good heel, I think, like in the sense of being just a silent enforcer brute type heel, this silent threat, and not suffering succotash son. Yeah, the less said about that, the better. Yeah, who else has been in the fucking tournament that worth mentioning? Because you know Roman Reigns is going to win this. I don't know how they're going to do it. The Alberto Del Rio thing, please. Alberto Del Rio should not have been in the tournament. Because if he's going in with this new thing, he should be protected more. He shouldn't be put in something he's not supposed to win. And same with Tyler Breeze. Like when I saw the tournament and Tyler Breeze was in, I was pissed off immediately. You know, because that's a great way to introduce a new young star, right? Oh, have him lose in the first match in the tournament. Again, I was against Dean Ambrose. I put on a great match. No, it doesn't, because he's come off. Oh, is this the guy who's all hype about? And one of those NXT guys, right? Oh, yeah, he lost to Dean Ambrose. I can't be that good, though, can he? Been going around with fucking Summer Rae, which is, you know, fucking cancer. Cancerous growth named Summer Rae. I have nothing against Summer Rae, by the way, but how she's been used, she's just a cancer that destroys things. You know, and Summer Rae is the remnant, the fucking legacy of the Lana and Rusev and Dolph Ziggler Summer Rae horror. One of the storylines that just should be buried. If you're ever going to bury something down under the ground and never think about it, it's that storyline. Because it ruined everyone he was in contact with. You know, it made Dolph Ziggler look like a swarm. It looked like a complete shit. Rusev was completely destroyed by that. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Lana, because like they took Lana. The reason people like Lana beyond the fact that she's, you know, gorgeous, is the fact that she was not a sex object, you know, arm candy style manager. She was the mouthpiece of the group. She was cold, like she was great. She was wonderful at playing the crowd, and she could stand toe to toe with The Rock on the mic, and that was great. It was really entertaining. She did a good job selling the story, putting Rusev over, you know, making us invested with simple old school heel tricks and stuff. It's really wonderful. And then they made her dressed like I don't know what she was dressed like, but it was. I know, but I can't describe it because I'm not a clothes guy. There was something, and it was not great, and she looked weird, and you know, he just took everything we liked about Lana and just destroyed it and tried to turn her face. And I know why he did, because she's a nice-looking lady, but no. Rusev should not have lost until SummerSlam next year, I think, but that's because the only thing that matters anymore in WWE are these streaks. And if you're going to go with the streak, you should make it last longer, make it more important, and give it to a young star. I've ranted about this before, I think. Sorry. Okay. Then we have because I'm not going to talk more about that fucking grave storyline. Tyler Breeze and Dolph Ziggler are facing this way. The only sensible outcome is for Breeze to win this. No, not entirely correct. The only sensible outcome is for Tyler Breeze to win this, and then supermodel kick Summer Rae in the face, and she's dropped, and they're split up, and Tyler Breeze can pursue his singles career without having her under his arm. I'm kind of conflicted about the concept of having I'm not that big a fan of. I think Breeze is okay, but I'm not a big fan of his gimmick because I think dashing Cody Rhodes did it 10 times more entertaining than he does. But he at least can push it off. I can believe this is a good look, I suppose. But Breeze comes in, and I don't understand. I'm not sure what I think about the overconfident, really hot guy that's supposed to be looked down on everyone else and just be so self-absorbed. It's essentially narcissist. And if you're going to go Greek stories, like he was eventually cursed to fall in love with himself, and he died by either falling into a pool, staring into down on his own reflection, or starring. Depends on the where you read the story. But important part is fall in love with himself, died, and that's essentially what I think Tyler Breeze is. I don't think Tyler Breeze is a good reflection of that because he's doing all the selfie shit. He shouldn't be interested in girls. Like the best moment was when a girl in a random outfit, I think it was in Takeover Brooklyn, just jumped him from behind and just clanged to him. And that was funny. And he just ignored her completely because he was too much in his own world. And just like this happens sometimes. And that was great. And that sums up the whole narcissist story in my mind. It sums up the whole pretty boy character, I should say. Tyler Breeze should not care about other women. Like he's used to their affections, and it's not necessarily gay or anything or asexual. He's just too busy with himself to care. Giving him a girlfriend doesn't help anyone. And I don't know what Summer Rae is doing. I don't know why she's here anymore. I honestly stopped caring. She was in Total Divas at one point, and then she was dropped from the cast. Get Summer Rae away from him, please. Have Tyler Breeze beat Dolph Ziggler and go and have an interesting feud against someone that's not, someone that's interesting. Because, Dolph Ziggler, all you can say about him, he has no credibility left in him. There's no one that believes he's going to win ever because he always loses. Always loses. And if he wins this time, they're doing it because they think that will be interesting to just, Ziggler lost, now won. And that'd be a great twist, but it's not a great twist because there's no believability to it, and it will just make Tyler Breeze look worse. Okay, then we have I'm not really sure where to go from here. Should I go to the Divas match, or should I take the Undertaker Bray Wyatt thing? I'm honestly not sure. Okay, let's just go with the Divas match. It's quicker that way. What the fuck have they been doing with this fucking Divas? Sorry for the swearing, but what is going on? What's going on here? I honestly like some context. A few weeks, that's months ago, Paige turned heel on Charlotte after she won the championship. Cut a very meta heel sort of promo, just bashing the entire Divas Revolution. I liked it. It was not the best delivered promo in the world, but I like that. Suddenly, it's kind of like a tsundere relationship between Paige and Charlotte and Becky Lynch. Like PCB, and then she betrays them and shit, and they betray her. What's going on? And after Charlotte wins the last Divas match, she comes out to celebrate with them, and no one buys it. Everyone. One thing is really fucking confusing because who would not see through her and she's jealous and wants a title, but at the same time, why did he even welcome her back? Why did he patch up? This is the women's division in this fucking main roster is fluctuating so much between heel and face and tweeners and sausages. I don't know. It's like they make the Big Show look consistent. And that's when you're at the point when you make the Big Show look stable as a character, in the motivations department, then you're at an end. You then done. You're done. When you're less consistent and less trustworthy than a fucking Big Show, then then we have problems here. Or maybe the Big Show is consistent, and it's consistent in that he can't keep to a side for more than 5 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, and Paige and Charlotte are going to face in this match, and they have the infamous moment with the mentioning of Charlotte's Charlotte's brother and how he died. Some people, and people are going back and forth on this because they had a main event spot. The last segment was going to be Paige and Charlotte because they're so dead set on trying to this Divas Revolution. The problem with the Revolution is that, for one thing, Revolution is definitely a really quick change to society, or to whatever field we're talking about. Just suddenly an influx of change over a very short period that radically changes things. And it's very hard to start a revolution when you're the establishment, because it kind of doesn't work. Revolution is usually an outside thing, if you look from a political perspective. Yeah, I mean, you could point to the Industrial Revolution, perhaps, and see how that worked hand in hand with the British government, but at the same time, it's very weird when Stephanie McMahon brings in these outsiders to revolutionize the women's division, when she's the main person in charge of the authority. It's kind of weird because they have done this earlier. Like, they've had a year or 2 years since the authority started in storyline. It's really weird and it doesn't mesh. And the problem is that, okay, if bringing the 4 horsewomen up to the main roster is not a bad idea. I've talked about this subject at length before, but bringing them up to the main roster is not a bad idea. Problem is, if you're going to have all these very talented young women playing wrestling, you have to have people they can work with, and you have to put the spotlight on them, not the people they are revolutionizing against necessarily. And they shouldn't be all on, like, if you're going to do an invasion, all the invaders should be on the same team, for one thing. If you're going to do the team thing, make them all heels or all facers or something, and just have them all on the same team when it makes sense. Okay? Well, fine, okay. Stay with me here. But since I'm fucking horrible. Anyway, but they didn't do that now, did they? They did the whole 3 teams thing, which is awful. They kept the Bellas in. The Bellas. I know the Bellas have fans. I don't know why. They improved, but okay. Look at this. This is really supposed to be my laundry basket. Currently, I'm using it as an emergency trash can because I'm still waiting to buy a new one. Right? I can say that when I've removed the trash bag from this one and it's going to be used to a more sanitary purpose, that I've improved it. But it didn't rebound that much, did it? I just took the garbage out of it. It's still just a laundry basket. It's still going to be filled with dirty things. It's just like less horrible and smelly dirty things. Well, depending on people have really bad smelling laundry, but I digress. The same thing with them. Okay, they were shit. No, they aren't shit, but they're still awful. Well, they improved, but they're still not watchable. They're still not entertaining. What more to say about them? Anyway, Paige versus Charlotte. This feud has not been interesting because they mismanaged the Divas Revolution and there's nothing interesting about it going on. And they tried to breathe some life into it by dragging in her dead brother in the main event spot. Because meanwhile this happened, Sasha and Bayley did the real revolution and had an Iron Man match. Had some of the greatest matches in the history of women's wrestling, the main WWE women's wrestling. I'm sorry, I had to be accurate there. Okay, and then we had this, and now these 2 are going to have it. And I have no doubt that this is going to be a good match. I think Charlotte has been ruined on the main roster. She's not been as good as she was on NXT, and same with Paige. But I think that if we remove all the teams from this, if we just get all them away and give them a 15, 20 long match, it's going to be good. And please don't target one leg for 15 minutes while the other just, ow, my knee. I think this is going to work from a match perspective. Is it going to be a well-told story? I don't know. I never gave Charlotte that much credit as a storyteller in the ring. She's just a very great athlete and a good wrestler in that, in the physical aspect. She's not a good mic worker, and just call her Charlotte Flair, okay? Because it doesn't work, because you drag in Ric Flair into everything she does. And how she's going to stand on her own as a performer if you drag in her dad all the time? Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about this fucking Divas thing because I don't have any coherence to say about it. Now to the Undertaker and Kane versus two members of the Wyatt family. I think it's going to be Bray and Strowman. Oh my god. Oh my god, this thing. Oh, what can I say about it? What can I say about this? Bray Wyatt is suddenly conjuring lightning and fire for bad lightning effects, and no one buys it. The Undertaker and Kane suddenly comes back and make the Wyatt look like complete pussies when they made their return, and then suddenly Bray Wyatt steals his druids again, because this happened before. The Druids have shifted their allegiance from the Undertaker to Bray Wyatt before. This has happened more than once. So, no! What's... Why? Why is this continuing? Why are you plaguing me with this? This is also one of the things that feels right. And as much as I love Bray Wyatt, and as much as I think they've done right by him by giving him his fucking cult back so he could actually be a cult leader, because being a cult leader without a cult kind of ruins the point. It's like Two-Face. Like, okay, put Two-Face up against Batman without his gang. And again, Two-Face, I don't know how to handle Two-Face in the comics, but Two-Face generally is just a mob boss. You know, is his face. And without that, what do you have? You know, you have his backstory tied to Batman, sure, but as an opponent, and as a crime gang boss is only as threatening as his resources are. You know, same with a cult leader. A cult leader must have an effective cult, along with being extremely charismatic, intelligent, and stuff. When you don't have that, it doesn't work. So, you know, the second biggest booking disaster of 2014 was splitting up the Wyatt family. First was splitting up the Shield, but Wyatt family was, you know, the mismanaging of Bray Wyatt, the fucking anal penetration of Bray Wyatt's career continues. And they put a lot of trust in the guy for some reason. And I love him, but he has not delivered for some time now. And I'm not sure why. It's still a good promo, I suppose, but it's what they give him to talk about. He needs to streamline it a little bit more and make it a little more coherent. I think that's the key to his success. And this storyline, one thing it proves though is the theory that Spoonie had, or it doesn't prove it, but it indicates that his hypothesis actually has a validity and can actually make it a theory about this WrestleMania match between Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker. Because he had this thing that Bray Wyatt has his own storyline. This has not been told, but this is his storyline. Bray Wyatt is a fraud. And he just wants to face The Undertaker. He's not calling down the thunder just because he wants that supernatural thing. This is also my interpretation. I've not really listened to the promos because when I saw that he started summoning lightning, I smashed my head into that fridge over there. I almost passed out. And I've stopped watching them after that because I honestly can't be bothered. Until this is dropped, and when Bray Wyatt stops summoning lightning, I would glee watch his promos again. Until then, stop. Okay. You know, you have the Wyatt family going at it with mixed results. What's what I'm saying? Mixed results. Sorry. I thought that mixed results in the terms of like, they kidnapped Undertaker and kidnapped Kane, and they look dominant. And no one believed it, of course, because Bray Wyatt has been a nobody for a year. It's been losing to everyone. Like, he lost to Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns, who couldn't handle Brock Lesnar, who was crushed by Brock Lesnar, just got in a few lucky shots and capitalized on an injury Brock Lesnar got. And Brock Lesnar, who beats The Undertaker, and The Undertaker the only one that actually can stand up to him, really. Bray Wyatt is suddenly going to hang with The Undertaker after he also lost at WrestleMania. He shouldn't have lost. He should have won, because that would have been added further credibility to The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar story. Anyway, further credence, or whatever you would call it, for Bray, for how to properly put this, for him being broken man after Brock Lesnar beat him. Anyway, this has been shit. And, they've been having these promos about Bray Wyatt feasting on their souls and gaining their powers, which, as I said, adds further credence to the Spirit theory of him being a fraud and not being supernatural at all, just wanting to be around the supernatural. And my theory to continue that is that after that match, Bray Wyatt was like, I want that power, that connection to the beyond once more. Couldn't get enough. So that's why he did this. Kidnapped The Undertaker, kidnapped Kane to just draw the power from the undead zombie man and the devil's favorite demon to gain their power. There's only one problem, however. The two previous storylines involving Kane and The Undertaker, separately, mind you, have been about how they're not undead zombie men and not demons, that they are men and can be beaten by when Kane can be beaten by Seth Rollins, the man who runs from the Condiment Man and has been beaten consistently by John Cena and so on, and he can just beat Kane. The ultimate favorite demon isn't that threatening now, is it? And Undertaker, he was proven to be mortal. That was the entire feud with Brock Lesnar was about how The Undertaker was not some undead god after all. But then suddenly he's an undead god after all, and this is really inconsistent now, is it? I don't have anything against it being supernatural, but no one believes it, because the last few storylines have been about proving that they are not supernatural. And suddenly when you turn to supernatural again, it's really weird and inconsistent. There are wrestling promotions that have undead wrestling magic and whatnot, but it's consistent about it, and that's the important part. If this has been consistent, if the consistent thing that Brock Lesnar just beast power just cancels out Undertaker magic or something, I don't know how I would have done this, because I wouldn't have gone back on it, then that would have worked. I suppose it would have been consistent at least, and it wouldn't be as annoying. And in this day of kayfabe, no one believes it. No one believes Bray Wyatt has supernatural powers anymore. When this day of kayfabe being gone, sorry. So, and I'm, if The Undertaker and Kane wins, and I think he's going to win because this is his 25th anniversary bullshit, then I've ruined the Wyatt family again. Because they look like complete doofuses. When they came back, when the Brothers of Destruction came back, they destroyed the Wyatt family. Yeah, made the Wyatts look like complete pussies now, didn't it? And then Bray Wyatt somehow got the Undertaker's Druids. I'm wondering why the Druids chose to switch sides. The Brothers of Destruction firmly destroyed Bray Wyatt and his family. Even Braun Strowman, who they tried to put over as real strong, and then suddenly they just destroyed him. Two 50-year-old men who've been beaten by the Condiment Man and who's been Brock lasered into death. It turns out fine. Turns out, yeah, they can beat the Wyatt family. And the Wyatt family looks like complete losers now, don't they? Maybe because they are, considering how they've been booked. And that, okay, but Bray Wyatt's brilliantly crafted response to this that we're going to challenge you to a 2-on-2 tag team match. Because when the four of us couldn't beat you, two of us is certainly going to do it in a straight up match. I don't know how. And, it's going to be Bray and Braun Strowman. And I know why you have to put Braun Strowman in there, because none of the two others are credible enough anymore. Had this been back in 2014, early 2014, when the Wyatt family was on a rampage, and Eric Rowan could stand up to John Cena and in a fight, and Luke Harper was, did amazing shit. The team worked very well together. This was, I could have believed whoever they put together with him to be a credible teammate to Bray Wyatt here. But I can't. I can't really do that to Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman anymore, because now he has also been proven to not be as great as big and strong as he was anyway. Because, Roman Reigns has beaten him down. When Roman Reigns beats you down, why would these two have any trouble? I don't know. And instead, you could have made this a 5-on-5 or 4-on-4 or something, traditional Survivor Series elimination match, or some variant of it. No, we're going to make it a normal tag team match. I don't want The Undertaker to win. I'm sorry. I know some people probably want to see him win, but this shouldn't, because they need stars, and they need them bad, and Bray Wyatt is really talented, and they need him to continue. But not in this way. They should have been doing better shit with him, but still they need stars, because they've been wasting everyone away and neutering them. Like, turn them all into eunuchs, for fuck's sake. Who do I think of a win? I don't think The Undertaker and Kane is going to win. I hope the Wyatt family, but that would make sense. So this is not going to happen. And I think we'll win the Divas title match. Who cares? That's who I think will win. Traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match is also the final card, and it's not been announced yet. The traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. This is a traditional feud ending match or continuation match where a captain takes to face another captain that it's feuding with, and other members who are in feud with the people on the opposite team gather to have a good tag team match. And now we don't know who's on that yet. And I don't know who's going to be on that. The New Day? Where's the New Day in all this? And who are they facing? The New Day, were none of them that were in the tournament. And there is legitimate points in their promo about it. Like, the New Day, who has been consistently dominant, the only well-booked thing going on right now. The only good act on the main roster. Consistently good act, at least. We're not on there. Why? We laid out John Cena and Dolph Ziggler and the Dudley Boys. 3 legends and Dolph Ziggler. Then again, Princess Ziggler is laid out by everyone. So that's not much of an accomplishment, but anyway. Still, we've won, and we've beaten the Dudley Boys several times. And we're the tag team champions. They came with all these legitimate points. Yeah. You should maybe have thought of that instead of putting Kalisto and Alberto Del Rio and Tyler Breeze in the tournament. Maybe you could have put the New Day in it. Maybe they should have won this. I don't know. I should point out something about the Kalisto thing in the tournament, by the way. Is that Kalisto had this whole upset win or Ryback, and we're like, is this going to be Kalisto making an upset thing? And I actually was not against that, because that was not something we would have predicted. And then hype that up until next Monday night when they lost. Kind of pointless to do that thing, isn't it? Not. And you shouldn't have. You kind of try to build it up, but then kind of why? Why did you? It was kind of wasted. Okay, I have a Fanta Exotic here. It's great. It's nice. It's going to be so wonderful to drink it. Oh wait, it's empty. Kind of pointless to hype it up now, wasn't it? Like I have this great dinner waiting. Oh wait, my fridge is empty, and I knew that. So why did I hype it? Yeah. Oh, Callisto. He's doing his upset win. Will this be Callisto's tournament? Will this be his chance? Oh no, he lost. What's the point of hyping it then? Everyone knew Alberto Del Rio was going to win anyway, so that was kind of pointless, was it not? The only time you actually try to hype that up is when the underdog is supposed to win. Yeah, you could have it in the tournament, I suppose, but you shouldn't have done that. Have him win, and then not hype anything up, make anything out of it. Just make it, oh, he won, surprisingly. But no, I couldn't do that now, could I? That would be a bit sensible and, been thinking about stuff, and, the writers don't do that here. I can't predict anything when it comes to that match. Is there anything more I can talk about that's of interest to anyone? I mean, the event is going on in a few hours. And by a few, I mean 8, 9 hours, I think. Not 9. Oh, fuck, I'm talking about 9. But it's going to be 8 hours, I think. I don't have anything else really comment on it. I mean, what can I say? The new days, the new days, great. That rocks. No, that rocks. I don't know, like this entire period, I have nothing to think about this because they're so predictable. That's the one issue because they don't have a wide card of main eventers. Like the Attitude Era. Not everything was great about the Attitude Era. Trust me, it had loads of problems, but at least had a good pool of main event stars. So when you could enter a tournament with Chris Jericho and The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kurt Angle, and you could be legitimately not sure who's going to win it. But here there's no suspense. Nothing. There's no suspense here. There's none. None. There's like the only thing that could happen except for the Don Roman Reigns win is the Ambrose heel turn. And I don't want him to be a heel. It's not because like some faces don't want their faces to, the faces, because that's a good part of a good face is to make people not want him to turn heel, I suppose. But we like him. But I don't think Dean Ambrose at this point would function well as a corporate heel because that's the way it's going to go now. Is it because all the heels are corporate stooges for some reason? You kind of need a heel to just say fuck you to the Authority, and the Authority needs to stop. They need to stop. Come on TV, okay? Stephanie McMahon needs to stop belittling and bullying the wrestlers. But she's threatening the New Day with something that would make Suplex City look like a holiday and shit. The wrestlers look like such complete utter vankers. They're not vankers, they're just pussies. They look like complete utter weaklings because she belittles them and mummies them. Same with Seth Rollins. And Triple H's character in NXT is better as an authority figure than this is because he's more like a booker he's more like a promoter of a boxing promotion or something. Not this. Not the McMahon. The McMahon helps the era didn't work for very legitimate reasons, and that's because Triple H is boring. I'm sorry, he's boring on the mic. Nothing against it. Like, he's good in the ring and stuff, but he has a bad type of long-winded promos. And they're also must stop having 30-minute promo segments opening show. I know why Vince McMahon is like, what do I care about matches if there's no story to them? Well, the match is the story, isn't it? You can tell a story in a match. You can have obvious bad guys versus obvious good guys, and they will have an opening match, and it will energize the crowd and so whatever. I'm too tired for this. I'm too tired of this entire fucking ordeal. Another, ISIS has threatened to attack a WWE event, or by one, I mean Survivor Series. I doubt that's going to happen. Yeah, the WWE handled that right. Can I go back to watching NXT now? Like, seriously, and even NXT. I wonder if Vince McMahon has been entering the NXT staff's meetings and just to borrow their coffee machine or something. Because Eva Marie is involved, and Eva Marie is horrible. And she's been personally trained by Brian Kendrick. If I was, even my fat ass, if I was trained by Brian Kendrick for 6 weeks, I would be a better wrestler than Eva Marie is. And I could, people were like, she's working around. I don't care. She sucks. She's horrible. And she's been in the business for like 2 years now, I think. And this is just now she's starting to try to improve. I remember when in the matches she's been doing, she's been pushing people down and just doing this. And she doesn't have heel heat. She doesn't have X-Pac heat. She has Eva Marie heat. She devalues everything she stands on. I'm not knocking her efforts to improve, in a sense. I'm just saying we don't want her. Make her a manager. I don't know. I want to see Asuka, or Oscar, however you say it, instead. I want to see her. I want to see her in the match. I want to see Bayley face up against Asuka. That would be epic. Well, no, Eva Marie. And I'm glad Eva Marie, Eva Marie stopped trying to do sliced bread #2. And oh my God, I'm glad that stopped. Because that looked so fake and so horrible. And I was so afraid she was going to injure herself or injure whoever she was doing it to. It was, yeah. Nothing about that was. Stop putting her on television. Just send her back to Kendrick. Kendrick is a miracle man in the ring, and he can. If he can't train her, no one can. Just give her like 6 months of just intense training with Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick. You don't need to go to the staff of the performances. Just have her train with Brian Kendrick. And I've actually seen Total Divas. I'm sorry, maybe that destroys all my wrestling creds, but I've seen Total Divas. I was really amused because I looked in the gym that he's training her, and they have the SIF code hanging on the wall. Oh, that was really fun. They didn't have the pieces alive, but there's only passion. I remember, through passion I gain strength, through strength I gain power, through power I gain victory. True Victory, I don't remember if True Victory, my chains are broken part is there, but that was really funny that they had the SIF code hanging on the wall. I would just love to train there, only because I could look at the SIF code and it would amuse me. Anyway, I'm not going to stop here because this is tiresome and you probably are not watching this anymore. There was one viewer, amazingly. Thank you, good evening, goodbye, and thanks, Best Butterfly Day to you.